Hello everybody, welcome to my latest video. This one is on Where the Winds Meet. I saw this when it was first announced on PlayStation Store and immediately wishlisted it. I saw after a few months that it was going to be a free-to-play game and I unwishlisted it. I had quite a few bad experiences with free-to-play games recently. I know it sounds stupid because they're free and download them and then use them if you want or whatever, but I don't know, I just lost interest thinking that it was going to be quite bloated with you need to buy this, you need to buy that. Now I'm going to get that part of this first look out of the way now. There is a store in this game and it looks like you can buy cosmetics and similar things to that. It also looks like it might have the same sort of, how should I say, systems as Genshin Impact in a way, where you have the ability to unlock boxes and maybe pull a certain outfit. It's not characters, but it is cosmetics. Now, I do not like that type of thing. I didn't like it in Overwatch when they first brought in their you have a chance of unlocking a legendary skin. I didn't like it in Genshin Impact where you realistically had to pay a lot of money to get the characters that you wanted to play as. And I'm not overly fond of it in this. That being said, so far I have not really explored the store in any meaningful way. I've had a look at some of the cosmetics that are available, but I've not really seen what you need to do, whether I have misread about the system for boxes which you may have a chance to unlock something. And I've just been playing the game to see what it's like. Now, initially, it's a mixed bag. And I say that because on one hand, it's very similar to Ghost of Tsushima in how it feels, but in another respect, it's very similar to The First Descendant, and it's quite an odd mix. It's one of those story-driven RPG-type games, but they seem to have the screen presence and the aesthetic of something like First Descendant. It's extremely weird, and I can't really describe it in any other way. I have had some fun in this game, I'm not going to say I haven't. And I've played probably 2 hours, so I know I am literally scratching the surface, and that's why this is a first look and not a review. That being said, I do like to have some form of draw to a game within those first few hours, because if you've played a game for a couple of hours and you're still seeing it as, oh, I'll give it a bit longer, oh, it's not quite got going yet, how long do you have to put into this game to actually get anything out of it? And I like to play a game that I enjoy, and I want to enjoy it right from the start. Yes, there are some games where I haven't enjoyed, like, immediately, but it's because I've had the wrong settings on. So I'll tell you now, I'm playing this on story mode, so the combat is extremely forgiving. I say extremely forgiving. I still get hurt quite a lot, because you do get mobbed by the enemy. If you want a challenge, then it's definitely going to give you one if you have one of the harder difficulties. But on story mode you have a much broader time to parry using R1, for example. And that brings me to the combat. It seems to be an extremely complicated mix of normal weapon attacks, mystic arts, martial arts, and, well, other things. And I say other things because at times I have no idea what's going on. I get a prompt on the screen to say press triangle and circle. I press them both and the character does something amazing. And I've no idea what it is, why I'm doing it, or how I even learnt it. I may have missed something. I have kind of skipped through some of the on-screen prompts. But at the same time, I do feel that it's missing something. Now, to add to that, as you can see on screen at the moment, I have managed to annoy somebody by trying to walk past them without speaking. there are times where you will find yourself facing off against a certain enemy, especially in this arena. Now this is the starting area, so I'm not expecting it to be too hard, but at the same time, I don't know. I know I'm on the easy mode, but there seem to be a hell of a lot of instructions right at the start. And I know they're trying to give you advice and give you the systems and everything else, but it really did break up the combat and really did break up the flow of the game. And I don't know, it felt off. Now, that's not saying the combat is horrible. It isn't. Like I say, it's very complicated with all these different systems, but it does feel very martial artsy. And if I was to be a little bit kinder to the game, I would say it's a better version of Dynasty Warriors 9. So if any of you have seen my past reviews on Dynasty Warriors 9, it was an open world game that disappointed in a lot of ways. Now, this kind of, I don't think it's fully open world, but it definitely is sandbox, much larger open areas than your normal Dynasty Warriors. But it does have that feel to it. It has that bombastic combat. It has that character descriptions, the way they talk to each other. It's very Chinese-centric. The names, obviously being Chinese, help with that as well. But it does mean that there is a bit of a draw there, because I have always loved the Dynasty Warriors series, and I am hoping and holding out to get some money so I can get the latest one, Origins, so that I can actually play it. I played the trial, really liked it, and have never bought it. But that's for a future video. Now, I did mention previously that this is like Ghost of Tsushima in a way, and this is an example of why. You find things while you're out and about in the world. It might be after speaking to somebody, it might be just seeing it in the grass, it might be at the side of the road, whatever it is, and it may start a quest. Now, that quest in this game will kind of lead you to investigate an area, or, as in this case, it shows you a specific space that you have to go to. Now, what it doesn't do is it doesn't help that there are some very strange things going on in the world. I will explain. When you first start the game, you have the option to do solo, where you can then co-op as well, or online focus, where you have a lot more guidance from other players. Very Demon Souls-esque or Dark Souls-esque. So you'll have these signposts all over the place, which give you instruction from other players. Now, the problem is, it's the same button as your normal interact and talk button. So if somebody has placed one right next to somebody you need to talk to, sometimes it's quite difficult to select which one you need. Now, they have tried to make that easier. So when you have all of these different things around, you can press the right stick in to select which one you want to interact with. So it does work in that regard. But if it's not something that's interactable, as in you don't need to press and hold R2, sometimes they do appear to be your objective. Maybe that's just me, maybe that's where I'm having a problem, but they will be right next to an objective, and because they're shimmering, you kind of click on them. Oh, hold R2, not click, but same thing. And it just opens up the screen to say thank you very much, or well done, you've got this far, or whatever it might be. So do pay attention to that. Now, it does have some interesting mechanics, such as this. I don't know whether this is scripted, but if it isn't, it is really good. You can basically light a brazier with your flaming arrows, and it will attract the attention of guards. That could be quite useful later on in the game if you're storming a castle or whatever you might be. Now, as I say, this is my first look. It's a very early in the game, and I haven't done any real out-in-the-world gameplay. It's very starting area-ish, all of this combat and gameplay is. So I don't know whether you do actually fight or storm castles or whatever it might be. So it may be less useful than I think, but it's still a good mechanic, and I'm hoping they do put it to that sort of use. Now, if you have played this game a little more, and you can tell me whether it is used in that manner, such as distracting guards, etc. later on, please do let me know in the comments. Now, the reason I've included all of this section in this video is to show that there are underground areas. It's a branching quest line, so you start by talking to somebody, they leave something behind, they kind of give you this spiel about having to bow or kowtow 1,000 times, and then you go on a quest to find out exactly what's going on. It's very RPG-esque, and that's not a bad thing. That's exactly what I like. So there is a lot to enjoy about this game. I am just nervous about the free-to-play aspect and the store aspect, and the fact that sometimes it does feel a little bit like The First Descendant. There's lots of things about it that I'm not overly sure about. Now, if I do get hooked and I do play more of it, you can expect a review in the future. If you would like me to do that review anyway, please do leave me a comment down below, because if no one calls for it and I haven't had that one thing that makes me go, you know what, this is absolutely amazing, I want to play it more, then I will stop playing it, and it means the review won't come unless you ask for it. So if you really want to see it, then please do let me know in the comments. If you're not fussed, then you might see it in the future. You might not, depending on how I get into the game. But my final thoughts before I leave this video and let you good people get back to something else. It's definitely got something for players who like Dark Souls, I think. Players who like Dynasty Warriors will recognise the kind of feel of the game. And for a free-to-play game, I suppose it has got some pretty good production values. It is worth getting, especially as it is free, but at the same time, don't expect too much. Either way, let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know why my arrows constantly go down when I'm trying to fire, but when I fire above them they go straight. Let me know that as well, because that really annoyed me when I was doing this part. And please do leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think of the video, and yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks very much, guys. Really appreciate it, and look forward to seeing you for my next video very soon. You all take care. Bye for now.